Hello everybody, today we have this awesome topic that we're talking about. It's the Castle of Magical Dreams, and we're going to be reverse Imagineering this, breaking down all the cool elements of this castle. So, this castle's in Hong Kong Disneyland, and it just recently opened after their previous Sleeping Beauty castle, which you can see on the left over here, very similar to California Disneyland. Now they've opened this brand new, majestic, much taller, much more, iconic castle, and it has so many awesome little details. It's really, really well thought out, and we're going to break down all those little features and Easter eggs and hidden gems that the Imagineers put in. So let's get started. So some things that they were considering when they were designing it was the use of 4 elements. So they wanted to use this because it was symbolic to the culture. And so we have metal, which is used in the gold and metallic elements throughout the castle. We see earth and wood with lots of foliage and artificial trees and things around the castle. Water, which is they have a moat around the castle as well as a water fountain. And fire, because in the entertainment shows they're going to have pyrotechnics, fires, lasers, fireworks, all that good stuff. So first we have Aurora, and you can see her tower over here. It's the tallest of the ones that represent the other princesses and queens, and it's because this castle was built on Sleeping Beauty Castle, so it's a little homage and dedication to that. We can see here that the color is pink and blue, right? We'll pull up another slide with the analysis. So we have pink and blue based off her iconic dresses. Even the shape of the tower itself kind of looks like her skirt. And we also see the finial up here. We have the gold crown, which is the one that she wears in the movie, as well as this little symbol here that looks kind of like a fleur-de-lis because Sleeping Beauty supposedly takes place in France. Let's move on to her column capital. We see over here the use of the rose, and this is symbolism that we see throughout all of Sleeping Beauty's or Aurora's things on this castle. And it's because, of course, her name is Briar Rose, so she has a kind of half-in-bloom rose, which is not to be confused with Belle's full-bloom rose. We also see her woodland creatures and friends in this enchanted forest setting, which is very reminiscent of the one from the film, and the fairy godmothers, and here's the capital in person. All right, here we have Ariel's column. So we can see, of course, Ariel has a beautiful seashell on top, very much like her iconic outfit, and we see that her column, the tower itself, is inspired by her dress, which is this one, and this one, which has shimmering gradations of coral, which is this color that they're calling coral, and green, right? Just like this dress, you can see this color looks almost exactly like this shimmery color over here. We see, like I said, the golden seashell, and it's held up by 2 pieces of kelp and some pearls, because, under the sea. Alright, we can see on her column capital, we see the sea creatures and her friends from the song Under the Sea. We have the little dancers and instrument players taken straight from the movie. You can see this guy's flipped over here, and we have, of course, her flower, which you can see each princess was assigned a flower for this castle, is the one that's in her hair in certain scenes of the movie. Alright, here we have Moana's tower. So her tower is an iconic blue, looking like the ocean, as well as the tower itself is orange and red, and it has this kind of Polynesian-inspired print, much like her outfit. We can see the colors of both the Heart of Te Fiti and her outfit are very much present in this tower. Right, and up here in the finial, we see, of course, the little symbol of the Heart of Te Fiti, or like the Moana ocean symbol, and we see 2 Maui hooks right here. Also, this over here kind of looks like plants, like a cornstalk or something, which we see a lot of that on her island. On her capital, we see these flowers that are taken from her headpiece, and we, of course, see her animal friends, Hei Pua and the little turtle that she saved, the ocean, and then here's our picture of that scene. Alright, next up is Mulan. So Mulan has some architectural elements that pay tribute to her story, including an embossed cherry blossom motif. As we can see here, we know cherry blossoms are pretty iconic to her story. Gold accents on a rose gold dome. We see colors here inspired by her outfits, this burgundy color, this jade green color, and we see the architecture is kind of similar to that of the palace, right? We have these squared off column things, as well as some spears over here representing her as a warrior. At the top we see Mushu and his gong. Alright, and then on her column we see Cricky, we see the flower from her hairpiece that she leaves for her father, we see Mushu, we see little brother, and we see the fan that she uses early on in the movie. And then in the back we also see peach blossom branches, which are, you can see seen here. So then we have Pocahontas. So Pocahontas's has a bas relief, which means that it's, coming out. And there's flowing leaf patterns, of course, from colors of the wind. We see the turret is this deep reddish copper color, similar to her tattoo color. We see the teal, that's similar to her necklace. And of course, on top, we see her friend Flit with raspberries in his nose from this scene in the movie. Then we see on her capital, we see Flit, Miko, as well as the dog from the villain's dog, I don't know its name, playing here in the branches of the willow tree with the leaves. So Pocahontas is the only one, well, I guess there's one other, but who doesn't really have a flower, but instead has leaves as her piece of nature. So over here we have Tiana. So Tiana, of course, on top has the frog of a Nevian frog form, puckering his lips, ready for a kiss. And we see up here the lotus flowers, or the water lilies, sorry, up here at the top. We see these swirly designs, kind of like a vine. You can see that's similar to her dress, and the colors are represented kind of down here, the shades of green. It's easier to tell over here in this full shot. We also see that water lily and vine design on the actual dome of the tower. And her column capital, we see similar things with the water lilies, all of her friends, and the fireflies in a kind of bayou setting. Next up is Snow White, the OG princess. So, on top of her finial is an apple, of course, and then we see the colors, a yellowish gold, a blue, and kind of a red being represented here, here, and here. The colors, of course, they take some creative liberties with, but they're similarly close, and we see this pattern with the apples and flowers over here. Over here, we see her capital, where it has her cute woodland friends, as well as the flowers that she was picking again, and this forest setting in the background. Merida. So, Merida has fiery, copper, regal blue, and gold highlights, much like her dress. It's kind of more similar to her new dress than her actual dress, so they based, I think, a lot off of their new character designs, and we see the print that's on the bottom of her dress over here, and the colors on the roof as well. We also see the emblems of all the different clans on her actual tower top. And yeah, the colors are very much inspired from her hair and from her dress. And we, of course, at the top see a bow and arrow with a target, obviously symbolizing Merida. On her column capital, we see her three brothers, we see the flags of the different clans, we see the little will-o-wisp, and we see the targets. Alright, Cinderella. So blue's pretty associated with Cinderella, so we can see that the blue back here and the blue over here and over here is kind of more of the shade of her current dress than her original dress, which was more of like a white blue. And we see at the top is the carriage. On her capital, we just see the pumpkin, and we see all of her animal friends down here. This flower, we're not really sure where it comes from, but that is her flower. Alright, Belle. So, Belle, of course, has blue and yellow. Blue for her town dress, and then yellow or gold for her ball gown. And you can see that over here. And we have this little pattern over here you can't see in the image, but that's a kind of French embellishment that they wanted to include. The top of it, the finial, is a in bloom rose, and then the pattern over here is the books that she loves to read, as well as roses. On her capital, we see the scene from Be Our Guest, which has the champagne bottles, all the characters, things like that. Alright, Anna and Elsa, but it's really more Elsa. So of course we see the silver and the blue from Elsa's dress and a snowflake on top, as well as the bottom is this kind of storybook wooden frame that you see in the Arendelle Castle. And then on their actual capital, we see Olaf frolicking with his friends in summer, with the bees and the dandelion fuzz, and then we see the kind of inspired flower from the Arendelle flag in 3D form. Alright, for Rapunzel, so her tower is painted in shades of gold and purple, of course, just like her outfit, and the flower, and her tower. And of course the shape of it is very reminiscent of her actual tower, and you see the striped diagonal things here kind of representing her twirling hair. And of course the flower is on top. That is the flower that's in the whole movie. And then over here on her column, it's beautiful. We have beautiful twirls and little birds, very reminiscent of the paintings that Rapunzel paints, as well as her painting supplies, pastel, and the lanterns. And then last up is Jasmine. So we can see Jasmine's is a teal and a gold, just like her outfit, and the pattern is directly pretty much from the carpet, the swirls, the swords, and the flowers. And then we have Abu at the top. At the bottom here, it's a purple, kind of similar to both the carpet and her other outfits. In the other movies, she wears like a purple outfit. And we have an Arabic-inspired pattern down here. On her capital, we have all of her friends, Iago, Abu, the lamp, birds, which she's pretty much associated with the peacock you can see here, and then these doves. And the pattern in the back is this pattern right here on the fountain you can see. And the flower is the one that's in her hair during A Whole New World. Alright, so some other details are in the rotunda, there's this beautiful ceiling with a bunch of twinkling lights and shiny stars, and it has this kind of flower-shaped design with all the symbols in them. So we can see Elsa here, Pocahontas in the leaves, Tangled in the sun, Mulan, Tiana, Snow White. This is Cinderella, Jasmine, Aurora, Moana, Ariel, Merida, and Belle. So all of them are present here, and they have, each of them have two kind of symbols. They have their main symbol, and they have their flower, which we'll see more of that later. On the little breezeway, we can see Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather up here on the chandeliers. Down here at the bottom of that same rotunda, you see this other flower mirroring the one on top with all of their flowers in each of these circles. So there's 7 here, and then 4 on each of the cardinal signs, and then in the middle we have Snow White, the OG. We also have this relief, which is kind of bad quality picture, but hopefully you can kind of make it out. So we have kind of a heart and dagger, similar, reminding us of Snow White and Snow White's flower. We see Ariel's flower here. We see the leaf for Pocahontas. We see this kind of pineapple thing, which I believe is for Merida, grapes or raspberries. Moana's flower. Here is Rapunzel. Here's Tiana. Here's Aurora, and then we have a bird. On this side we have Cinderella. We have, I think that's Jasmine, and then Belle. Maybe this is Jasmine. It's kind of hard to tell from this image. And then we have another flower here, and more leaves. So they try to incorporate these themes in multiple ways. Alright, in one section there's a photo op place with, again, each of their flowers right next to their symbol. So we see right here, here, and so on. Last place that we're going to find these symbols is on the beautiful stained glass mural. So you have each of the princesses and their symbols with their flower right next to it. So they're kind of to the bottom and to the right. So here's this at night, and here's it at day. And then here's just a look at some of the different textures and different ways that they incorporated the princesses into this castle. So really, through every single detail, they've really incorporated the princesses, and it's super duper cool. So let me know in the comments what you think. I thought this was super cool, and I just had to make a video explaining and breaking it all down. Please let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!